I created many of these characters for Death Squad 7 over a decade ago. Quite a few of them are amalgamations of friends, family, co-workers, and even actors. Now, the first book deals with the primary protagonists, which are Major Sabra, Sergeant Diego, and Airman Lieutenant Mitchell. Major Sabra is the classic woman out of time. She's from another era, another universe. She didn't belong in the future universe that she now inhabits. She was forcibly brought here. She was put through a rigorous training program, gladiator style, after going through her own adventures and realizing she'll never return to her own time and space. She put a unique set of skills to work as a Starlight Squadron officer. But that's another story altogether. Sergeant Diego is a child of war. Although she's older than she looks, Diego still has the emotional outlook of a teenager. Got enhanced strength and muscle control, and of course she's a very deadly fighter. The most important thing in her life has been her military career. She's been in the military starting out as a child soldier. Her adoptive mother enlisted her in the Starlight Rangers during the war against the Tremen Consortium. She later joined the Starlight Squadron and worked directly under Major Sabra, who has become her friend as well as her mentor. Airman Lieutenant Mitchell is one of the youngest members of the Satellite Nation's Aerospace Corps. Although he's not old enough to remember the Great Milky Way War, he's seen his share of action in the service. He's got superior skills as a pilot and is a phenomenal fighter. And through his experience, he was transferred to the elite group known as the Starlight Squadron. We get to know a little bit about these three characters in the first book, how they work together and why they've decided to go back to Diego's home asteroid. There's obviously going to be a lot of tension here because, as we all know, going home after an extended absence can always be filled with emotional conflicts and familial tragedies. Now, although this digital comic is about people surviving and attempting to thrive in a post-war environment, it's also about relationships and alliances. The story takes place around 70 years after the Great Milky Way War, when humanity and species are living together on a group of terraformed asteroids within the Milky Way. We'll get to see how various cultural differences play out as these displaced species interact with each other. Although I wouldn't call it a dystopian future, there is very little of the utopian optimism to be seen here. I'm a big fan of history. While most people tend to focus on significant wars in our past, I like to focus on the reconstruction and recovery periods after those great conflicts. In the world in which Major Sabra, Sergeant Diego, and Lieutenant Mitchell inhabit, there's an amalgamation of the post-war, say post-World War I, post-World War II era in Europe, and that's blended with the Reconstruction period after the U.S. Civil War. There are a few fantasy elements in the books thrown in, along with straight science fiction. Digital comics offer a great opportunity for telling stories that are not quite on the beaten path. Online giants such as Amazon and others allow authors to create and distribute their work in a very cost-effective way. Fans can go online and jump into these stories at any point without worrying about missing previous books. These episodes are available 24 hours a day, and you never run out of stock. If you like sci-fi adventure in comic book form, take a look at Death Squad 7. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And when you do, tell your friends. So go to Amazon.com and download your copy of Death Squad 7 #1 and all the other chapters. Thank you.